Hey, it is windy outside, and you know how much I love the wind. I've had many requests for a follow-up to the video I did, I think 2 days ago, on relationships. It was, as all of the videos are, unscripted, which means that sometimes concepts are explained clearly and sometimes not so clearly. There was a torrent of strong comments, beautiful comments about the tragedy of humanity and why do we get hurt and the nature of trust. The nature of trust. One person wrote in and said, how can we learn to trust again? How can we learn to trust again? It's interesting, isn't it? Because I guess those words have the assumption that we have trusted and something has occurred and now we need to trust again. I would explore what trust is. And trust is important, but trust needs to be about ourselves rather than someone else. Now, when I say trust needs to be about ourselves rather than someone else, there is the inference that I'm saying others are not to be trusted. That's not what I'm saying. When we have a relationship with another, whatever that relationship is, let's say romance, let's say a friend with benefits, let's say a boyfriend, husband, whatever, there is an unspoken agreement between us that the relationship will follow certain rules. The rules might be that there is fidelity. The rules might be that the partner or other person is going to listen to us. The rules might be that they ask us particular questions. How was your day? With eye contact. The rules might be that when it is your birthday that they remember it. There are spoken and unspoken rules in any agreement with a relationship. And we're supposed to trust that that person is going to follow the rules. I find that a really interesting concept because the other person following the rules depends on a number of variables. One of them, the experiences they've had in their childhood. Another is their understanding of the expectations of the relationship. Another is their level of self-esteem. Another is their strength of character and their resilience. Another is what their caregivers have taught them about relationships. So by trusting them unconditionally, what we do is place our happiness. So hold out your hands right now. We place our happiness in their hands. Now the question arises, and we can debate this. Is it beneficial for us ever to place our trust, our happiness, completely in the hands of another? Now perhaps you hear some negativity in those words. Do you hear that I'm saying not to trust? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying to be aware, to observe the dynamics of relationships. You may choose to love another. You may choose to love this person in your life. But love who he or she truly is, rather than the concept of love. So if you choose to love somebody that has been negatively affected by their caregivers, so their mother has not loved them, or their mother behaved in a certain way that did not support their development, you are choosing to place your happiness in that person's past, in that person's ideals and their values and their self-esteem, in their resilience. There's a level of risk there, isn't there? Is that what you want? Do you want to make your happiness dependent on so many variables out of your control? Or are we to trust, just trust in the moment? I think the answer there is that we bring it back to ourselves and we say it is about us rather than expecting of another. And I really wonder about using the word trust. We need to be very clear on our boundaries. What are my boundaries? I require of a partnership fidelity. I haven't always received that. It's a requirement I have, which I have not consistently received in my life. I require that my partner asks me about myself. That's a requirement I have. I have not always consistently received that of a partner. I have on several occasions had a partner appear disinterested in who I am, what I've done, or perhaps even demean my goals. Even name call my goals. I've been told I'm ridiculous of late from a couple of people. What do I do with that? If someone calls me ridiculous, does that mean I'm ridiculous? Or are they speaking about their own values and I do not adhere to their idea of who I should be? Therefore, they use the word ridiculous to control me or to attempt to control me. What do I do with that? Do I take it on or do I reject it? I can hear you say to me, well, of course you reject it. Do I? Is it really that simple? If I love someone, I would go through a journey of saying to myself, okay, I love this person, but my boundaries are that I want to be my own sense of self, that I want fidelity, that I want to be listened to. But they listen to me most of the time. Where are my boundaries? And we walk that path of uncertainty, that path of change. And then we could have an amazing partner. Amazing. And 10 years, they are just amazing. And suddenly they change. They drift off. There is a shift. What do we do with that? How do we process that? There are no certainties. In my last video, I talked about reaching the point of giving things away that I was given by my ex-husband. And two girlfriends expressed to me that they felt it was very important that I give away certain gifts he'd given me. And it's not so much how special the gifts are. It is how much I wanted to hold on to them and what does that mean. And we talked in the last video about how I actually took my bed apart, which was the marital bed, and I'm throwing it away. And it was an incredibly difficult experience. Somehow that bed represented something I didn't want to change. The bed was broken, so it's quite funny. I've taken the bed apart and I'm having it taken to the tip, and I cried. I cried and cried. I know sometimes people write to me and say that I'm not romantic or I'm negative or I'm not open to romance. I would strongly disagree with that. I consider myself very romantic and very loving, but I'm a realist. I can love with all the love in the world and all the kindness and all the giving, and still the other person may choose not to love me in return. You know what? It's not about who I am. It's about the glasses that person chooses to wear. The glasses formed by their values, their experiences, and so many factors. I can't change those glasses. I may wish to. I may intend to. But I can't change those glasses. So I can love and love and love and love this person. But I can't make them see me. I can't make them change. And something I've really learned through the end of my marriage, and I want to caution myself, caution you here. I feel this video, this audio is very positive. I feel very happy while I'm recording it. I feel very happy. But I've reached that state of happiness by attempting to let go of the need to expect something of another, because that need has not brought me happiness. If I love someone so much, I can't change them. No amount of love can control or condition another person. They choose whether to recover from the wounds of their childhood. They choose whether to stop being distracted and listen to me. They choose whether to have dreams and goals. And I can't make them see what I see. You can't make someone trustworthy or worthy of your trust. You can trust yourself, and by trusting yourself, you're more likely to set boundaries. You're more likely to invite a trustworthy person into your life. But there are no guarantees. I can tell you with all my heart that I have loved and loved and loved relentlessly, passionately, with so much belief and determination to make the relationship fruitful. And the relationship ended. So what do I do with that? Do I become negative? I don't think so. I think I'm very positive. But my sense of love needs to come from my sense of self. And all the love in the world will not make a person the way I would like them to be. I really care about you. I really want you happy. And I know from your letters that you want me to give you a silver bullet. Or you're listening to someone that was profoundly, profoundly saddened by the end of a relationship. At times I see different people and I see that they are the products of their caregiving, the products of their ability to plan, the products of their ability to speak positively about everyone around them or choose to speak negatively. And if I spend time with somebody who speaks negatively of others, my positive approach may not affect them. And And I would say is unlikely to affect them. It is unlikely to affect them. I need to decide what I want, and that will be manifested. And sometimes, I've talked so many times about ground zero. Sometimes the ground zero is that partners leave, and partners are unfaithful, and partners don't listen. What are you going to do with that? Are you going to shrivel up and crawl into a fetal position in the corner of the room? Or are you going to make yourself a hot cup of tea and ring a girlfriend or a friend, pat the dog, smell a flower? That's what I do every day now. I was so completely gutted by the end of my marriage that now, if I have a bad day, and my life is fairly turbulent with 4 children, if I have a bad day, I suck in the aroma of a crunchy apple. I just revel in a hot shower. I love to look at my view. I can't afford to waste the moments in my life because someone else I love wastes the moments in their life. It's a pity. It's a pity that someone may or may not appreciate us. Yes, it's a pity. How many seconds, moments, breaths do you want to waste saying it's a pity? How many do we just spend? 4 breaths, 12 seconds. Oh my goodness, we could have been talking about chocolate. Do you want to talk about chocolate? Or do you want to talk about what a pity is that your ex-partner did not understand you? I know, believe me, I know the agony of not having love returned or being with someone that's not worth trusting. If we are going to go through life saying, how do we learn to trust again? How do we learn to love again? Well, we do so without expectation. That is the only way. There is no other way. And I can hear you say, you're saying to me now, but don't we deserve more? Well, yes, you may deserve more. I may deserve more. Does that happen? Does that mean it's going to happen? No. No. By having self-belief, by having boundaries, it is more likely to happen. But we cannot determine the nature of another. We cannot make another compassionate or grateful or goal-setting or enjoy meditation. And there is only now. So generally each day I feel pretty happy, and sometimes I'm sad. Sometimes I wish for a moment things will be different, and then I breathe, smile and say, they're not. This is life. It is as it is. This is it, ground zero. And I like you. I really like you. And isn't that what it's about? Isn't that what it's really about? Goodness gracious. Let's just imagine if someone loves us absolutely incredibly. Do we want our happiness to depend upon that? Do we really want our happiness to depend upon that? I'm thinking of you right now. I want you happy. Trust. Trust because that is who you are. Hope because that is who you are. Love because that is who you are. Have faith because that's who you are, but not because of any other person. Be who you are without shoulds and musts and expectations. I like you. Thank you for listening. Bring on the debate. Thank you for listening, my friend. My friend. My friend.